Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, I'm going to go over the projects that I think are the most undervalued in the market in this current pullback. If you enjoy this sort of content, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Right, let's get down to the desktop and let's have a look at what projects I'm calling out. Okay, so we're going to start with Avalanche. This one is one that I've talked about, a fair amount on the channel recently. Nick and myself have been in this project since like $12. It might have been less. Currently ranked 11th. And I do think this is a project that's going to do really, really well. Massively undervalued at the current price, in my opinion. It's a low cost and eco-friendly project, and there's some really good examples of your transactions per second, your transactional finality, and the list goes on. Again, I think this is a project that from a technical standpoint is superior to many others, and it's definitely worth spending that time to do some research. Now, advice.io has it currently ranked at C2, extremely poor, but most of the market is like this currently. Now, the 7-day change is minus 0.97%. The 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗡 ratio is D, the Sharpe ratio is D, your moving average is D, and your fear and greed index is D, so it's very fearful. But your firm profitability is A1. It's a really, really profitable project. So do let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on Avalanche. I do think it's one of these projects that's massively undervalued currently. So what I'd like to do now is just literally cover off our Patreon membership. So we'd love to have you as a member of Cheeky Crypto. Now, the link is in the description of the video. We have resources, so lots of different websites with all the different analytics, so you can sort of stay ahead of the market. We have whale alerts, so you understand where the big money is being spent. Coin trends, so you can be ahead of the market. We've got swing trading, so we have a guy called Peter that supports with trade swings. We have our buys, our sells, and our staking alerts, so our every movement in the market. We also do write-ups on projects, so you can kind of get our views and opinions as we sort of put it into written form for you to have a look at. We have obviously our TA, which you can see there, our member videos. And the other one that I really like is the exchange listings. So immediately, as soon as there's an announcement of a coin listing, it gets filtered into our Patreon service, and you will know about it first. So it gives you that opportunity to get into a project that's about to be listed or is being listed right now, and potentially see that growth in the price discovery if that's something you're interested in. So do check it out. Really like to get your views and opinions. We get some really positive feedback. I do think it's one of the better Patreon services out there, but that's just my opinion. Moving on, we've got Elrond. Again, I think this one's massively undervalued. If we go right back, I mean, up here, 200 and where is it? Let's have a look. Here we go. So $490. I sold somewhere near that and bought right back down here. Massively undervalued in my opinion. And I talk about fundamentals a lot. Nick really deals with the TA, but I deal with the fundamental aspect. This is a much superior project now to what it was back then. So for me, it's massively undervalued. It is just my opinion. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so make sure you do your own research. But I really do like this project. Definitely the fact that they're getting into the payment sort of sector quite heavily. It's going to be really interesting with the acquisition of Utrust. Now, currently C1, so it's actually very poor on advice.io and the artificial intelligence and machine learning, although the 7-day change is positive at 12%. Your 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗡 ratio is a D, your Sharpe ratio is a D, so they are both pulling it down. Your fear and greed index is A2, so it's pretty greedy. Your B2 for your moving average, so again pulling it down, but it's not too bad. And then your firm profitability is C1, which I expect to do a reversal. Do let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on Elrond. Moving on, Singularity DAO. This is, I've got to be honest, one of my favorite projects. I think this one really does level the playing field for retail investors. It's such a great project, in my opinion. You know, you need to go do some research on it. You've got the Dynasets, you've got staking, and you know, good yields as well. So at 93.36 cent, down 12.25%, I really do think this is a fantastic project. Now, one thing that I would say, if you are using you know, like KuCoin, for example, make sure that you do a limited order. If you do a market order, sometimes the bots will sort of chip away at you, and you'll pay a little bit more than you were expecting at the market rate. So, you know, just a little bit of advice there. You know, if it's at this price, maybe you do it like a, you know, a cent lower, for example, and maybe you'll get lucky and get it. So, you know, you got your Dynasets. Again, I'm in one of these Dynasets. I dropped $10,000 into one. We'll see how it plays out, and I'll let you all know how we get on. They've got a launch pad. You've got your bridge as well. You can swap on here, provide your liquidity, yield farm, and you can stake as well. So really do like it. Definitely worth doing the research. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Moving on, VChain, and I see the comments, a lot of hate at the moment, but ranked 39th. I do think this is a project that is just massively undervalued, and I do expect a reversal. Solid team, solid tech, you know, lots of really big partnerships, and for me, it's foolish to, you know, kind of think that this one's just never going to get where it wants to go. For me, really like this project and expect it to do really well. You know, obviously they've been sort of focused previously on just supply chain, but now they're widening the scope of what they're looking to do. You've got NFTs, you're going to have metaverse projects popping up. You've got, you know, the DeFi aspects coming. You've got your VUSD. For me, you know, this is again a stronger project, you know, fundamentally, from when it hit its all-time high, you know, back here at like 25 cent or whatever it was. So, you know, do let me know your thoughts and opinions on VChain. C3 currently, severe issues. Again, very similar story across the market, down 10% on the 7-day change. C2 for your fear and greed index, 𝗕𝗓𝗓 ratio is a D, your Sharpe ratio is a D, your moving average is a D, and your firm profitability is C3. So on the face of it, in the short term, it doesn't look good, but long term, I am so bullish. Really interested to get your views and opinions. Moving on, and we've got Harmony, rank 52, currently down 3.65% at 18 cent 39. I do think this is an amazing project. You know, if you watch the show, you know I talk about this one a lot. Been talking about it since 0.5 cent. Love the fact that they've got all the towels. They've got the, you know, they're all attending the ETH Denver, you know, event in America, and I expect there to be a big announcement, so I'm led to believe. So for me, it just has to be on here. Plus, you've got the likes of, you know, Coin Bureau asking the same question. You know, is it one of those projects that is just massively undervalued? I think it is, because I think, you know, with bridging to all chains, that's what's needed. And for me, it's going to be interesting to see how this one develops. I really do like the project. I like the team. I like the community, and I like the tech. You know, it's peer-reviewed technology. So for me, fantastic project. It's going to be interesting to see how everything sort of you know, progresses over the next coming weeks and months. It's C1 on the ranking for advice.io. Very poor, again in line with the rest of the market. 7-day change is down 15.58%. Your fear and greed index is D, Sharpe ratio is D, your moving average is D, your firm profitability is A1, it's super profitable, and your 𝗕𝗓𝗓 ratio is C2. So, you know, again, overall, it doesn't look like, you know, a really, you know, nice picture, but actually in the long term, I think this one's going to do really well. Again, not advised, just my opinion. Really interested to get your views and opinions on Harmony. Moving on, we've got Cardano. Again, see the hate on this one, but you know, it's just, it takes time to develop these blockchain, you know, infrastructures in the right way that's going to have longevity. So I'm not too concerned how long it takes. as long as it's not too long that, you know, all these other projects sort of get the leap ahead of Cardano, and I don't think that is currently the case. Currently at $1.05, down 1.83% at the time of recording. Again, I think this is you know, superior fundamentally now from when it, you know, hit its all-time high, you know, back when you know, smart contracts and all that side of things have been delivered. You know, you've got SundaeSwap and you've got Meld and a few other projects starting to build on the ecosystem. Over I think it's over 100 million total value locked now on Cardano, off the top of my head, so don't quote me on it. But ultimately, you know, looking forward to seeing how SundaeSwap's, you know, 97% or so total value lock dominance dwindles as more and more projects sort of launch on Cardano. I think it's going to be interesting. Obviously, they've done really well and broke records with transactional volume in 24 hours. So go read the news articles on that. I do think it's very early for Cardano, and I think it's going to do really, really well. Currently C2 on 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗦, again, extremely poor, 10% down for the 7-day change. Your fear and greed index is D, Sharpe ratio D, moving average D, 𝗕𝗓𝗏 ratio is B2, so that's not so bad. Firm profitability C3, but I expect that to change over time. Do let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on Cardano. Now, you know, that kind of brings that to a close, right? I think those are the most undervalued projects in the space. I get people keep saying that we talk about the same projects all the time, but, you know, I can't help that, you know, that is where, in my eyes, the value is. You know, if you can come back to me and say, right, okay, this one's really, you know, much more undervalued than the ones that you called out, then I'd look at it. But until then, this is how I see the market. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, mash up that like button, subscribe to, you know, Cheeky Crypto if you enjoyed the content, and tap that bell selecting all the notifications, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.